Exactly. Hello, everyone.
And today, Marion and I, mostly Marion, are going to talk about food gamification. So I'm just going to take a few more seconds just to make sure that we are going to be live in all the different platforms. Food gamification, we are here to have let's say that the main intention of this webinar is to have fun. We have a few things ready, and I'm pretty sure that is going to happen. The other intention is to talk about food gamification and why it makes sense in the world of food design. And finally, our intention is to present Marion's course, because Josh and Nicole and I have invited Marion to create a course for the online School of Food Design, and today we are launching that school. Okay, so if you're seeing me on YouTube, can you give me a thumbs up on the chat room, because this is a new software that I'm using. I'm just getting used to things, and I have messages here and there. And talking about YouTube, welcome to all of you. Welcome to those of you who are live now with us, and welcome to those who will be live with us later. Actually, who will be watching the replay later on. But if you're live right now, just raise your hand and tell us where you're from and what you're doing, what time it is for you. And at any point, please ask your questions in the chat room, and I will be asking those questions to Marion for sure. Brilliant. Marion, before we even start talking about you and who you are,
We have a riddle.
and what brought you here, we want to immediately start with one of our three little gifts, fun things that we have planned. So we have a riddle for you guys. Marion, take it away.
Yes, I'm sharing my screen. Can you see it, Francesca?
Yeah.
Perfect. So as Francesca said, we are launching today a course that I designed specifically for the online School of Food Design. It's about food gamification. We will talk about it during this webinar. But we are launching a special code to give you a special discount. And to find out what the code is, we have decided to create 3 riddles, and this is the first one, and at the end it will you will be able to put it together. And so this is the first part of the code. This will give you 1 word, and maybe if you are watching now or later, if you want a little clue, you can try to find the correspondence between the numbers and the letters in the alphabet. And I will not say anything much. I will let you search.
Perfect. And guys, I have just shared this image on my Instagram page, Food Design Thinking. So Marion now is going to change her slides in a moment, but you can keep thinking about what is this thing and what's going on. You can keep trying solving this riddle for, as long as it takes you. So just go on my Instagram page, and you have the image there waiting for you to be discovered. And of course, you can let us know in the comments, either here on YouTube or there on Instagram, if you solved it. And as Marion said, this is just the first part of 3 different parts, so 3 different riddles that together will give you a discount code. So that's exciting. Brilliant. So, I see here 5 numbers. And when you first gave this to me, Marion, I was very perplexed. I did not know what to do with it. But I am very sure that it's because you said something. You gave people a hint there.
A hint, exactly, to use the alphabet, and maybe see if you can transpose a number into a letter and see what's going on.
That is a huge hint, guys. A very good, huge hint. Brilliant. Okay, so I'm going to remove this now and just go on our Instagram page, guys, to continue thinking about it. But I want to put up Marion's face because I would like to hear your story, Marion. I would like to hear from you. You know, what brought you to the world of food design? What brought you to make of food gamification your professional career? And yeah, so what's the story?
Well, it was at the beginning. I didn't do studies in the food design area. I studied performing arts, so I'm more in the experience area. And I come from a family of entrepreneurs where my parents had a bakery, my grandparents a ski shop. So the idea of receiving people and sharing a little time and make them feel and live an experience is really a great thing in our family. And I have always loved receiving people at my place, planning dinner parties where everything is beautiful and where people have fun. I love connecting friends from friends from work and friends from school and let them talk together. And I love, of course, the food. I love cooking, and food is really a big part of my life. I discovered plant-based food a few years ago, and I really like cooking it and planning it. And I love food, but I really love the moment of eating. It's really a moment where we can share a lot with other people. And I started to design it at the beginning. I started to mix art and food in dinner parties. It was, for example, in art gallery where there were secret guests who were a choir, and so they all seated and they all sing. And after for the second dinner party that I launched, I said, well, I love games. Why not mix food and game? And it was a huge success. It was the first culinary escape game in France. So the idea of the culinary escape game is to play riddles, to solve riddles and little problems, to be able to eat. If you don't find the clues, you can't eat. And then, well, I really developed it, and this is now my professional activity. And I'm really happy to share what I've learned over the past 3 or 4 years in this webinar and in this course. I'm not a teacher. I'm really a professional who wants to share her experience.
I was on mute. I love it. This is exactly why, as you can see, guys, why we invited Marion to give this course for us, to create this course for us. Your story is just very much relatable to, I think, that people who enter the food design discipline, and in particular, I think, to many eating designers, events designers, etc. And your passion for food and your passion for putting people together, this is exactly what I think many of us feel, but also it's part of a set of skills and knowledge that is very useful to most of us. So that's why we are having this conversation today and right now. Brilliant.
And I wanted to play a little game with you, Francesca. I would like you to play a little game, and to maybe we can share 2 true elements about us and 1 wrong element. So if you want, you can start.
Absolutely. So are we sharing these three things? 2 are three and one is not. 2 are true and one is not true. Are we sharing them and then revealing what's not true, or
you share the three, and I will try to discover what's not true. And maybe if you are watching live, you can chat on the webinar too.
Yes, that'd be awesome. So we have somebody from Buenos Aires and somebody from Mumbai and somebody else who didn't say where they're from. Welcome, all of you. And again, tell us where you're from. And now try and guess. Should I start? Do you want me to start?
Yeah.
I have to make sure that my tone of voice doesn't give away anything. I wrote them down because I'm not good with improvising. Okay. I once did bungee jumping. I once climbed Kilimanjaro. I once ate snakes.
Whoa. It's hard. I think the first one is true.
Did bungee jumping?
Yeah, I think. But I will say I'm not sure you ate snakes.
So you think that is the not correct one?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to wait a couple of moments to see if somebody else wants to try and see what they think. Do you want to give us your three?
Yes. Okay. So my first one is I love cheese. The second one is I did synchronized swimming. And the third one is that I bake my own sourdough bread.
Okay. I think you love cheese because cheese is all over your website. I might be wrong though. I really see you doing synchronized swimming. And I could also see you doing your sourdough bread. Okay, but the only one where I got goosebumps was the synchronized swimming. So I don't know if it was my intuition telling me that's the wrong one, or if it was my intuition telling me that's super cool. I totally see that. Okay, I'm gonna go with you don't do your own sourdough bread.
Okay.
Okay, so let's see what people are saying. Hi, hello from Mexico. Hello from Cape Town, South Africa. Awesome. Francesca has definitely eaten snakes. Okay. Okay, so should I reveal my own?
Yes, let's go.
Okay, so I did do bungee jumping once.
Wow.
I'll never do it again, but I did do it once. And I wasn't even that young. It was like 6 years ago. What were we thinking? I don't know. I definitely have eaten snakes before I became a vegetarian. But it was in a very nice restaurant and you had no idea it could have been snakes or chicken.
Wow.
But they said thanks. And I did not climb Kilimanjaro, unfortunately. It is in my to-do list. No, your turn now.
Well, I actually bake my own sourdough. I love it. I do it every week.
You don't do synchronizing.
Yeah, I did synchronized swimming in the university, but I ate cheese. I'm French, but I ate cheese.
Oh my goodness, no, it's part of it's in your website all over
yes,
the place.
Yes. But my business partner, he loves cheese, and very great person who did our visual identity loves cheese also, so it's all over.
Perfect. I love it. And thank you for this little exercise, I guess, because it just shows how this type of interaction changed the atmosphere immediately. And I can totally see people at your events, because you also do dinner parties, as you said. I can totally see how these maybe icebreaker, can we call it an icebreaker?
Yes, it's totally really an icebreaker. Yeah,
right.
Yes, we do it sometimes in dinner parties for companies, for team building, before starting the culinary escape game in a restaurant. If they don't know each other, just to share those little things, it's really, really fun.
Awesome. Okay, so before I switch to my second question for you, Marion, a couple of things for people who just joined us. So we are launching Marion's new course for the Online School of Food Design titled Food Gamification and Culinary Escape Games. Because we are launching this, we are giving discount code broken up into three different riddles that you have to figure out yourself if you're interested in discount code. The first one we gave in the very beginning of the webinar for those who just joined, and it's in my Instagram page if you want to go there for Zen Thinking and try and solve the riddle. And even if you're not interested in the discount page, I mean, come on, who doesn't want to just solve a riddle? So that the first one just came. The second part will arrive in a moment, and then the third one, the third part of the riddle will arrive at the very end. But between all of that, between now and the end, there's so much that we still have to unpack and so much laughter that we still have to do. And I want to say this because I know what we're going to go through and I love it. So stay tuned. We're going to talk about food gamification in general. We're going to have a few more fun things. We're going to talk about the course then later on. We're going to show you how it looks like inside, what happens, what type of format and things you can discover. And we are also going to see a sneak peek. Marion is going to give us a sneak peek into one of her escape games that she has designed, and that will be delivered to people who enroll in the yes. course. So I want to say this immediately. I think we wrote it down to say later, but it's too interesting to. I just want to say it now. People should know that signing up in this course, they will have yes, that will be delivered to them, and the actual escape game will be delivered to them. And we can go through the inside later if you want. But I want to say this. So stay tuned to this webinar to see what's inside that little, not that little, that wonderful package. Brilliant. So, Marion, for the educational aspect of this webinar, tell us about food gamification. Tell us about why it makes sense for all of us. Because intuitively, you know, I can say, I can also stop doing this. Okay. Intuitively, I can say, as food designers, why shouldn't we include elements of fun and joy and laughter and game in everything that we design? As eating designers, there's no reason why you shouldn't. Well, unless you have a specific theme that doesn't have anything with laughter and you want people to cry. Fine, it happens. It does happen. So tell us about food gamification and, you know, why it makes sense for us.
Okay, so food gamification, it really can be applied to multiple goals. It could be, I will share with you later some little examples, but it could be maybe a customer loyalty program where you want your customers to come back, I don't know, to your restaurant or come back to your food brand or come to your food event. It could be a development of a new offer. For example, if you own a restaurant, an hotel, maybe a caterer business, it could be great to let your client play, and playing is really an important part of our life. It really connects people together. It allows us to have a real experience. So it's really a good addition to the food sector. And there is really when playing an engagement, when they play and they eat, the customers really engage with your brand, with your products, more than just just going to a buffet and just eating and not really knowing what's going on. They go really further. They really need to be engaged if they want to play. And when designing a food game, you really create an amazing experience for your guests, from the really beginning, what's happening before your food game, all over the game, and at the end. So it's really something really global. and I wanted to share with you a few things about what's going on in our brain when we play. So, when you play, it activates the limbic system. It's the part of our brain that controls memory and emotions. So it's really powerful. And I learned when researching for this webinar and for the course, for the theoretical part of the course, that playing helps our brain grow, like really grow inside. When children play, their brain is really growing when playing, and playing is really a way of learning how to collaborate, to empathize, to solve problems, and to persevere. It's really, really powerful. And when you are a child, you say play, but later you can talk about creativity and lots of words that we can use. But it also come back to the very beginning, where the idea is to be in another universe and test new things that we know aren't really true. For example, if you go to an escape game, you know the world is not going to explode, but you play it and you do it anyway, and you feel it anyway. So that's really powerful.
Absolutely. I am totally, I'm totally into escape games and treasure hunts, and also board games in general. It's really, and people who follow my work with food design thinking might not be surprised, because quite a few of the methods within food design thinking are actually games, and it just makes sense because that's exactly what creativity likes. So what design theory led me to learn was also merged, in my private life, was merged by a passion that I found having in my private life. This is just, for me, but playfulness, it's just, if you look at it, it just makes sense on so many levels. And for some reason, I still find quite a bit of restriction towards it. Have you found it in your work? Because, like, for example, in food design thinking, I do find people who are not are a bit cold or
Francesca. Can you hear me?
Hi, sorry. Sorry about that. Let's see if we can have Marion back. Yes.
Yay!
Okay. Sorry, it was my internet, where things happen. So I don't know what you've heard of what I was saying, but to go back to it, I don't know for how long I've been talking to myself. Go back. I have found these people being a bit stiff and not being really able to connect creativity with playfulness. In your case, when you propose playfulness, you are already in a leisure type of activity, eating out, eating with other people. Have you ever found restriction, or how do you feel people perceive playfulness in general?
Sometimes it can be quite hard because we have, for example, we went for a company dinner party, and sometimes in the company everyone wants to play when because they don't know that they are going to play. They just think they go to like normal dinner party with their company. And once we came into an event and there were people who didn't wanted to play, so we said, okay, you can just watch them and maybe help them. But I feel that the power of the group is really interesting, because when we see other people playing and letting go of all the boundaries that we can have, that plays are for children, that we can't be playing as an adult, they just let it go and start to play with the group to feel included. So that's really great.
Excellent, wonderful. So sorry for the interruption. I'll let you go back to your slides.
No problem. So I wanted to share a few examples of what a food game can look like. So I've got a little video. Maybe. Sorry, I will.
No problem. We are live, so.
We are live, really. So that's one of our culinary escape game. So let me show it to you.
Is there audio?
Yes.
I think we are not hearing the audio. So
okay.
You have to click on that little thing. Yes.
Sorry.
No problem at all. I mean, we are human beings and this is live.
So, opening the video again.
There are about 40,000 clicks involved in actually opening a video. It doesn't look like that from the outside, but it's definitely true.
And sharing audio and sharing the video with you. It should work.
Okay.
So that's one of the example I wanted to share. It's You Foodish People's culinary escape game, where the idea is to solve riddle, to be able to eat. But that's only one way of creating a food game. For us, the idea was to create a team building event that we can do it in lots of restaurants and even venues. So we decided to create this game like that. But what I wanted to share this example is a French company called Chanty Biscuit, and they created a game where you play with biscuits. They produce homemade biscuit with a personal little message, and so you can play in a couple, and for example, here it says you choose the restaurant and you pay, and so it's like a little game you can play as a couple. So that's one other example of what we can create as a food game designer. Then this is a little example that I created especially for the course, to show that we can take a traditional game like checkers and make it a culinary with little biscuit to eat, and not leaving the pieces outside, but really eating them. And this is we don't see really well, but it's an example by Starbucks. It's something like really simple, of just playing a little game on an app and collecting stars to win free coffee. So that's also something we can design. It really depends on your goal and on what you want to create.
Excellent, I love it. And before we go to that, you just stay with your screen, don't worry. I wanted to, there's a few things that I was thinking. First of all, I love the fact that well, as you just showed, and as your course is going to really showcase and teach people, there's many different places where gamification can be used, and many different purposes: team building and marketing, etc., customer relationship, etc. So that's another reason really why having this type of knowledge and skills up your sleeves is quite important, I think. The other thing that I like about for example, the dinner that you showed, as a dinner, and then on the side there are going to be a couple of things, but they're not really relevant. Whereas from my perspective, when I teach design, when I've been teaching design, is that if we design something, it needs to be 100% cohesive with everything else that we design. So cohesive also means purposeful. So if I design a wreath for your dinner, it's going to have a purpose, not just amusement on the side, because that means that it's an additional thing, but I want it to be mandatory in a sense. So it being games and playing being explicit and purposeful to the whole dinner, I think it's very important and very interesting. You know, one question I was thinking, and this is something that I've been asked in the past, and it's something that I'm sure can be raised to many people who do similar things in eating design, and it possibly has been brought to your attention as well. At what point does a game become a distraction to the actual food? So there's many food critics who, for example, just to stay in the restaurant field of food design, or the restaurant and hospitality little portion of food design, there's many food critics who would say that in a restaurant, and so in a restaurant scenario, a type of eating experience, the environment should be less distracting as possible. Interaction with the service staff should be less distracting as possible, less distracting from the food itself and the experience with food. These type of people are the same type of people who would critique heavily the work of many of our wonderful eating designers, who really create a cohesive and purposeful balance between the food itself and all the other aspects influencing the experience. So how do you view this? Can games, in our case, become a distraction to food? If it does, what can we do? Or what's your take on it?
I feel that games, and well, for example, like you said, in a restaurant, for example, the food is an essential part of the experience, but everything must be coherent. And I feel like we don't want just to go to a restaurant and take something and go back and just eat and come back. We want to meet the chef. We want to, I don't know, hear the story of what our carrots come from. We want to have an experience from when we go on the website to make a reservation, from when we enter the restaurant, and what's going on after, and also the decoration, everything, what we touch, what we hear, what we feel. And I think for me the game is really a part of all that. Of course, not every restaurant wants to implement a game into their experience, but I feel like it can really make sense for some restaurants. It doesn't have to be all during all the dinner. It can be like just little touch to make people talk together, or to share something, maybe about the history of the restaurant. But for example, with our culinary escape game, what we do is that people play between the plates. So they play and then they eat, so they don't eat while playing, and they really have moments for everything. And when they eat, they really are eating. We even have riddles where they need to discover all the flavors, so maybe they are more in the moment than usually. And I feel like it's really important that we have the experience and we have the game, and we disconnect it from the food, so that eating is really a great moment.
Absolutely, I totally agree. And one thing that I would add one thing that I've been talking about, in my personal teaching of similar topics. I never taught or talk about gamification specifically myself, but the importance of designing the other aspects around food itself. So one thing that I've always been saying to people, to participants of my things, is that I absolutely think that it's extremely important to open window, that's live, extremely important to design purposefully and coherently other aspects besides the food itself, besides just food, that we can design beyond the plate, we can design beyond food. There's many things that create the eating experience, and we should try and design for many of them. The point is, though, that none of the other aspects of the eating experience that you might design are more important than food. Equally important, yes. More important, no. Another put this is, if the game is excellent, if the company is amazing, if the environment is beautiful, the music is perfect, the waiters are just excellent, but the food is not good, that is what
the experience is not good.
Exactly. So you can have okay or decent other aspects of the experience, but food must be good. Because if everything is great, but then you don't deliver on the quality of food, people are going to disengage with the whole experience, and they will remember that the food was not good.
And people don't, for example, we go to a lot of restaurants, and sometimes we choose them and sometimes we don't. And when we choose them, we know that the food is going to be amazing because we tasted it before. But when we don't, we go into a restaurant and our guests don't make the difference between the game and the food. They feel like it's all a package, and if the food is not good, they will say, oh, the whole experience wasn't that good.
Exactly. Coherence is key. Because I have had people saying, oh, the game or whatever, it was kind of a game in that case, like not really a game, it was more of a playful interaction with the way people were eating. It was fun and everything, but I was almost wasn't paying attention to how good the actual tortellini, or the type of pasta was. And I disagree. I think that if the tortellini had been okay or not good, you would have noticed. But because the tortellini in that case, or whatever food, is very good, and the goodness, let's say, the quality of the actual tortellini is compared to the quality of the other aspects of the experience, everything merges together. At the end, you just had a good time, and maybe you are not even able to explain why. Brilliant. Marion, at this point, I know we have the second part of our 3-part riddle. So guys, the first part is already, it's in my YouTube, in my Instagram page. I'm actually going to prepare to put up the second one as well. Mario is going to show you the second one now, and I'm also going to put that on Instagram so you can ponder on that.
So for the first part of the riddle, it was a pink, I think. You had a little word that you had to find, and for this one, you are looking for a number. And I'm just sharing this picture, and you are going to, I don't know, try and find this number. This number is written. And I will give that to you, and that's it.
That's it, because this is very easy, guys. Okay, there's no this is too easy. No, not too easy. It's very easy. It's already on my Instagram, so we are going to change the slides now, but you can go back on my Instagram, Food Design Thinking, and keep thinking about that. And remember, this is the second part of our riddle. The first one we gave in the beginning of the webinar. And again, this 3-part riddle, for those who join now, in the end will help you to put together the discount code for Marion's course. And even if you're not interested in the discount code, definitely be interested in the riddle, because they're so much fun, and I really want to see how many people get there. And let us know in the course, let us know in the comments on Instagram or here on YouTube. So we have a few other people from Mexico, and Laurent, I don't know where you're from, but maybe you didn't write it.
From France.
Okay. And we have a question. Is it possible to create the game inclusive with the place and the food hosting the game?
The place be a part of
the place to be a part of the game. Interesting.
Yes, that's something we are working on, to create and to open our own restaurant, and to really include the riddle inside the place, and not only on the table, but maybe you will be going on the walls and touch something like a real escape room, but it will be a restaurant, but you will I don't know, cook something and really be in more inside the room and the restaurant.
Definitely. And I'm sure that even in your course, you are going to give a few pointers on how to include, possibly, why not, riddles and things in the room
inside.
People,
yes,
right. So
I actually give 15 types of riddle with 3 examples each, and how to really implement them into your own food game. And it goes from I don't know, a little thing that we share today to really creating something on the wall. So it's kind of really complete.
Absolutely. The same way you can design an escape room at home for your partner's birthday, for example. What am I talking about? And the same way you can completely change your living room into a one-time escape room. You can definitely do it at a business firm, for the one-time event, or somebody's restaurant for one time or one day or 1 week, who knows. Or, as Marion is doing, design a whole restaurant that is always going to be about escape rooms. I mean, I totally want to get there. Brilliant. Okay, so now I think that we have about 15 more minutes. We maybe this is a good time to talk about the course that Marion is actually proposing to us and sharing with us. And we are going to have a look inside the course and see how things look like. So I'm going to share Marion's screen.
So you can
Marion, maybe you want to show the preview of how students see the course.
Yes.
No problem. So we're going to have a look at the format of this course and how many lessons there are, what type of lessons. So this is, sorry, Marion, this is your sales page, or the course page. I think for the preview of the curriculum, no, because that one is your part. I just want to, because I really want to show how students who enroll, how people who enroll actually see it.
So, maybe preview.
Yeah, it's in the. Let me just.
Can you see it?
I think it's still your admin view. Okay, so if you go on information and then course curriculum, or I'll show it myself.
Maybe like that.
There you go. That's it.
Cool.
Because we wanted to show you guys how it looks like from the inside when you sign in and you enroll in this course. Marion, what can people expect when they sign in?
You have, well, it's divided in 4 parts. So a little welcome part where I present myself and I will give you the opportunity to present yourself. And then we have a part that I call food for thought, where it's really more theoretical point of view. It's what happens in our brain when we play. 15 examples of how to mix food and game. And this one you can access for free if you want to take a look at the course and how it's going to look like. So you can access it for free. It can give you a lot of ideas. And you have like a focus on our culinary escape game. I teach you through every format we have, how does it work, really what is it, so you can expect to design something like that. And then we are going in a really concrete way of teaching. The idea is that you have your own project. You want to maybe implement a game into your restaurant. You want to create a marketing campaign. You want to create a food game, and you have a general idea of what you want to do. And I'm going to take you through every step of what we do at You Foodish People when we design a new game, from setting your goal and your red thread, defining your target experiencer in two ways, writing a scenario, designing the spine of your food game, and then we are going to talk about the experience. So we are going to design the whole experience from what happened before and after, and of course inside. And then you are going to really create a riddle. And at the end of this video, you will be able to design your own minimum viable food game project that you will be able to test with friends and family. And then we will meet for a live session. So the first one is happening on November 4th. During this live session, you will play our online culinary escape game, and then we will work in little teams so that you will be able to share your project, show pictures and video, and get feedback from the other students and myself. And after, we will go further into to logistics, sustainability, delivery, how to sell your food game concept, and after a small recap of the course. But during this during the course, you will it started and you will have a PowerPoint that you can download. I will try to share it with you. Sorry, it's live.
No problem, no problem.
And for example, in every video you have
for every lesson there is a video.
The lesson that is a video. For example, this one is 14 minutes, and after you always have a bit-sized version of what I talked about during this video. And in this one, it's more theoretical, so you don't have the exercise part. But the idea is, after every video of shaping your project, you have something to do after every video. You have to learn, you have to go outside, you have to search and to really combine your project. So I'm going to share with you my keynote if it's
Sounds good. Yeah, there
is
you
it
are.
working?
Yeah.
So the idea, for example,
maybe you want to put on full screen.
Yep. Okay. So there is 17 slides, and the idea is to at every step of the design process, I gave an example of what we did at You Foodish People. I took you through this in the video, and here you can write for your own project. And so at the end, you will really have your project written and really designed for you. And for example, this is the spine of your food game that you are going to design. You are going to divide it in lots of steps, with talking about emotion, about concrete aspect, about a goal of every part. So it's going to be really, really concrete. You will really work on your project.
Perfect. I love it because I love how practical it is. It's practical because you show us examples coming not from who knows what, but from you, how you have been doing things successfully, and you teach us how to do things based on how you do them, and we know that how you do them work, and then you accompany people through the creation of their own final proposition. And I love it. And I think I don't know, just zooming out for a moment, it's the essence of opening the doors of the online School of Food Design, and which to me means learning from people, from food designers, inspiring and gifted food designers all over the place, doing all sorts of different things, of whom you are one, of course. And the fact that most food designers have something to teach because they have been passionate about something. And if you're passionate about something and you have created something, you can teach it immediately. Maybe instead of using the word teaching, which is quite academic, just pass it on, right? So
exactly.
I love it. So how would you describe, or how would you list the things somebody would get away with? If I enroll in your course, what do I learn? What do I get away? What would I go away with? What do I take home?
You go away with your really own food game project. It would not be the food project of something else, something that you just saw on the internet and did the same thing. It will really be based on your goal, on what what you want to achieve with this food game, and you will come back with something really concrete. It can take the form of an event, it can take the form of a package. It really depends on your project. So you come back with this course with a real food game that you can, if it's just for fun, for a dinner party with your friends and family, you go back, you can design it. And if it's more professional, you have a concept that you will be able to sell.
Perfect. So one thing, I just want to share my screen now. So what we are proposing here, guys, you have the link to Marion's course in the description of this video, or if you go on Online School of Food Design, the course is called Food Gamification. It's not going to be difficult to find it. And you have, all the description of the course and the curriculum, as Marion has just showed us. And the course is $549 US, and this is a call for you. So this is, as you can see, a substantial course. This is plus VAT if you are in a European country, but $449. It's a substantial course. It's an investment, and we want to be quite clear about it. This is a course that you probably take once in your life because you want to invest in something that is specific for the type of work that you do within food design, and is specific for your career and your own advancement. So Marion, give us your view on for whom this course is and for whom this course is not, because it's clear that this course is not for everybody, but who is it for you?
For me, this course is really if you own or if you work in an hospitality business where you want people to meet, but maybe in a more experiential, maybe in different way. You want to go further in that place. Maybe you are an agency working with food businesses and you want to create, as we say, the marketing campaign or something like that. But I think this course is for you is you have a concrete project in mind. If you are not sure this course is for you, depending on your project, you can write me an email or on Instagram, and I will be happy to help you. The idea is that at the end you will be able to create a real game talking and playing with food, but it will be a game, whereas it's a board game, an escape game, I don't know, murder party, everything, but it will be a game that you will be able to test and to implement into your business right away. And so this course is not for you if you don't have a concrete project in mind yet. If you would like to, again, write to me and we can have a chat about it. It's not for you if you don't have the time to work after every video. The idea is not to just watch the course and go back to your life. The idea is to take one video to really work on it. For example, setting your goal and your rest rate. So you're really going to work on it. So the idea is to take the course bit by bit and really work with it. And the idea is not to create a real escape room with something really technical stuff, etc. It's more in the experience business, or when we talk about food, it will be implemented in restaurants, in hotels, in catering, in dinner parties. So it's more something experiential.
Definitely. So if you are an eating designer, either wanting to design escape game dinners or bits and pieces or little games in any dinner, and that happens all the time. If you're a food designer, because you never know that you might want to implement gamification aspects of your project, whatever you're going to design, products, events, services. And talking about services, if you are a chef, a restaurant owner, if you work in hospitality, if you want to include some type of gamification aspect in your dinners, in your one-off event, but also your recurrent, dinners for your guests. Who else? Yes, so these are the people, I guess. So.
And in the price that we shared, you have of course the course, the pre-recorded video. You also have the live session with really concrete aspects where we will work together on your project, and you also receive this little package. Inside there is some food. I will not show it to you today. You will receive it at home. So shipping worldwide is included, and you will have to find the little code using some elements inside. So you will follow someone who has closed the aperitif. So you will have some stuff to eat. You will have a map of the world to see where it went. So it's a little game to play with friends and family, 2 to 4 people, and you receive it directly in a box right to your home. So you have something really concrete.
I love it. And this is an essential aspect of this course, because yes, you get the learning, but you actually get, and the skills, but you actually get this tangible gift that is delivered to your home. And delivering food, because there's edible components in it worldwide, has, of course, its costs. But for us, and we really talked about a lot about this with Marion, for us it was important that this was included in the course, let's say, because it's not only there to inspire you, it also gives you something to experience as
and to test.
And to test as a customer, and you test it with your family and friends. Of course, they're always the first people that we design for. But it's also there to be a visual and tangible I want to say thing to play with in your creative game, in your creative process. So it's so for us it was important for this to be included, because this course is not theoretical. It's very much practical, and to have this tangible element that you receive at home, that you experience, that you play with, that you eat, that you totally understand with all your 5 senses, was very important. And of course, we think that because this course is for professionals and people who want to do this and want to implement this type of tactical design, let's say, in their business proposition, then this element has a very big value. Was there something else that you wanted to show us about these?
Yes, you will have a little secret sauce that you will be able to taste during the live session. You will find online with your little team 3 ingredients inside this secret sauce, and at the end, of course, you will be able to eat it and to taste it.
Excellent, I love it. So why do we think, guys, that this course is a good option, is a good investment for those of you who want to do this? First of all, because there is lifetime access. The course is self-paced, but there is also a live, which means that you study at your own pace. There are also live components, as Marion mentioned, so there will be live interaction with Marion and other participants. Access to it. So after the live sessions, also when they end, you will have access to it forever. But also because you have 30 days refund guaranteed. So if you enroll and for some reason you understand that it's not for you, you will be refunded the full cost of the course. So a good reminder is to enroll now, because for 3 days, I think there is this discount going on. And in a moment, we're going to give you the third part of the riddle for the third part of the discount code that you have to figure out on your own. You have to be very committed, really, if you want this discount. And we haven't even told you how much this discount is, because that number is actually the second that we have done before. So if you enroll now, you get the benefit of the discount as well. So we have ready, here it is, the third part, Marion. And I'm going to post it on Instagram again.
Great. And I wanted to share, we discussed it a few days ago, that this course is like one coffee. It's like your everyday coffee, but you really learn something, and this will make you money. The idea is to sell it. So it's really a good investment.
Exactly.
And
exactly.
So
it's an investment for our business, for sure. I've already posted it on Instagram, guys, if you want to check it out later, for those who will be watching this in replay. For those who need to think about this a lot. Okay, so this riddle is probably my favorite.
And it's the third part of the code, and you have this grocery list, and you have to buy some stuff that I share, and I think it's quite easy. I can't say I can't give you a hint unless I give you the full response. So I just leave you to it and leave you work with that, and you can go, of course, on the course page and try and see if you if you found the three little codes.
Yeah, but even if you do need hints, we don't want to give hints for those people who don't want it. But if you do, write to us on Instagram or on the comments on Instagram, and we'll be happy to help. Of course, we want as many people as possible to use the code.
Of course.
But,
and for the code for the code to work, you will need to bring everything together with the little point inside. So it will be the pink one, then the mark, then the green, then the mark, and then the orange.
So this is the only part that is very important. That is a dash, okay? So pink part that you have to figure out what it is. Then you write a dash when you're going to write your discount code. Then the green part, dash, and then the orange part. So that's important for you to write for you to use and write the dashes in the actual code in the page where you're going to enroll and make the payment. That's important. Brilliant. Excellent. I love it. So we have a couple of questions. So let me see. Do you propose the course is some type of support to achieve the project, to probably finalize the project?
Yes, the idea is to you have the PowerPoint to guide you through every step, where you can write everything on it. So at the end, you will have a project that will be designed in one place. You have the videos to help you, and the live session is really a support. It's really after you designed everything, after you even bought some really concrete element, and you tested it with friends and family in the cheapest way, and then the idea is to see what worked and what didn't work, to really go further and do a second version. And of course, if you have any question, I'm always here to help you. And in every step, you can come back, and you don't have to watch the whole video, because you have the bit-sized version in a little PDF that you can just come back and see what was the key points.
Excellent. Thank you, Marion. And then we have another question from Sugar and Space. How many people can play the game that you deliver, the escape game that you deliver?
Yeah, so it's inside this little package, and 2 to 4 people, but you can also play it by yourself. And if you are 5, it doesn't really matter. But it's better if you are 2 to 4 people.
Excellent, brilliant. I love it. Okay, summing up. Because we are about to close. Food gamification and culinary escape games. New course by Marion from You Foodish People. On my Instagram page, there are the 3 riddles. This one is the different. This one is the different. Where does it go? Okay, different ones. And so you can use this to think about it for the next few days. I think we have said everything we could have said about this course. I personally, of course, love it. But very simply, the reason why I love it is because myself and Josh and CP and Nicole Vindel, the team who is now working at the Online School of Food Design, have selected these courses that we have been proposing to you in the summer school. And we have selected Marion's course. We have asked Marion to come and create a course for us, or propose to her. And we wanted to surround ourselves with people whom we love and respect and admire, and we wanted to propose courses that we would like to take ourselves and made of content that is relevant and useful and immediate, etc. So very proud to be proposing this course to you guys. Very happy and proud to be working with you, Marion. I think you're a beautiful human being, and really worth spending time with and learning and squeezing everything from you, everything that we can. So thank you so much. To everybody who was listening live, thank you. I hope you had fun. I had a blast. And sorry if I didn't look at the chat room very often, but I was too immersed in everything that we were saying. So thank you for watching and for being with us live. And to those who will be watching later on, thank you. And if you have any questions, just write to me or to Marion or from the Online School of Food Design, wherever. There's many ways you can reach us. And to you, Marion, thank you so much for being here and for giving us this course, but also this hour together to talk about it.
Thank you, Francesca, for this opportunity. It was a great pleasure to be in this webinar and a great pleasure to create this course for the Online School of Food Design.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Have a lovely day, everybody, and happy food.